Yo, what's up, guys? It's your boy, Keep It Real MMA. There's no, back in my office, as you can see, the kitchen. Anyway, basically, the MMA content's been very dry recently, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it early. I know I usually post them on a Thursday, but why not? Early Tuesday morning, may as well. I'm just gonna post it. My schedule's back to normal after my shifts, so yeah. May as well get it, may as well get this card out the way. It looks like it could be a fun card, and a couple of tricky picks here and there. But I should be somewhat consistent. I've looked through the card. Obviously, I've researched these fighters a little bit, and I'm picking a couple of underdogs. Not a lot, but I am picking a couple of underdogs, and yeah, we'll just go from there and then see how it goes. So, anyway, first fight on the card. Well, if you're new here, please like and subscribe. I'm keeping real MMA for a reason. You'll find out shortly. I keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I have no biases. Just keep it as real as I can. If you're new here, obviously, in these types of videos, I go from the prelims all the way up to the main card. So, yeah, this card is UFC Fight Night, Thompson versus Holland. So, yeah, let's get it popping. Let's get it started. First fight on the card: Yasmin Jauregui versus Estela Nunes. Yasmin Jauregui is I can't really say her last name. Jauregui is a -300 favorite. Estela Nunes is +250 underdog. This is not an underdog I'm going with. I am going with Yasmin Jauregui. She is a very talented fighter, man. Obviously, her first fight was against Lucindo, Yasmin Lucindo, who's very good herself, very talented. They were both newcomers when they fought. Obviously, Yasmin got the win by decision. I can see her getting another win. Estela Nunes, she's very timid, and the problem with her is, like, obviously, she's gonna be on a 3-fight losing streak. Like, she's not gonna be. I think it's a 3-fight losing streak, right? If I'm not mistaken. Estela Nunes. Tapology. Where's Tapology? Tapology, there it is. Right, she's 6-3. 1 no contest. I'm just waiting for the to actually fucking load. Right, there we go. Agree. Yeah, it would be a 3-fight losing streak if she loses this fight. She lost to Ariana Carlosi and Sam Hughes. Not good. You can't be losing to Sam Hughes, man, by majority decision, and then losing to Ariana Carlosi by rear naked choke, man. Is obviously she had a fight against Angela Hill be cancelled, and then Jing Frey cancelled. It's just not a good look. She's very timid. She's not very active, and I see Yasmin just getting it done by decision. I can see her being very active. I think she's a very talented fighter in the strawweight division. And yeah, I can see her doing very well. Next fight on the card: Marcelo Rojo versus Francis Marshall. I am going with... there's no odds on this fight for some reason, according to the UFC website, but I am going to go with Marcelo Rojo. Now, Francis Marshall is very good, but he's 4 cans. And now we're going to look at Marcelo Rojo's Tapology, right? Right, obviously, he lost to Kyler Phillips by armbar, which he did very well. He took that fight on short notice, right? He had a cancelled bout against Daniel Santos, Jonathan Martinez, and Kevin Kroom. He lost to Charles Jourdain on, literally, he lost, got TKO'd in the third. He literally lost, he literally took out on short notice, sorry. Got a fight with Ronnie Barcelos cancelled. So, it's one of those things where I feel like if you give him a proper, like, if you give him a proper training camp, I really believe he can get it done. If you give him a proper training camp, I really believe that he can get it done. And Francis Marshall, he's 6-0, but the problem is he's fought absolute cans. Like, let's have a look at the records he's beaten, right? He's fought absolute cans. He's fought absolute cans. Keith Forrant, who was 4-0. Then he beat Chris Cantu, who was making his debut. Then he beat Mike Taylor, who was 3-2. Then beat Ray Trujillo, who was 24-30. Then he beat Michael Lawrence, who was 7-6. And then, obviously, on the contender series, he beat the 5-0 guy in Conor Matthews, who was decent at the time. I just think Marcelo Rojo, with the experience of being in the UFC and fighting high-level guys, I think he can get this done by decision. Tough fight to pick, but I got to go with Marcelo Rojo. Next fight on the card, Natan Levy versus Ganado Valdez. Gennaro Valdez. Natan Levy's a minus 180 favorite. Gennaro Valdez is a plus 155 underdog. Right. I am going to go with the underdog in Gennaro Valdez. Right. Here's the problem with Natan Levy. Natan Levy, he's not very gifted. He's not very talented. And I'm not saying that Gennaro Valdez is the most talented guy in the world, but he has one thing, because they're pretty even when it comes to competition and stuff. But what separates Gennaro Valdez is he's very strong and physically dominant when he can be against a certain type of opponent. And I feel like he can use that as an advantage against Natan Levy. I think Gennaro Valdez is a very good option. I think he's a very good underdog to pick, in my opinion. I think he is. And I feel like he can get this done over Natan Levy. I just think that when you're not that gifted and then you're like kind of similarly skilled to this person, but they have the physical advantage, I think they can get it done. I can see him getting it done by 29-28, where he maybe loses the second round but wins the first and third. I mean, or loses the first but then takes over in the second and third with his strength. That's what I can see happening. It's a close fight, but I will go with Gennaro Valdez. I think that's a good underdog for you guys to pick by decision, 29-28. Next fight on the card, Tracy Cortez versus Amanda Ribas. They both is a pick'em fight. I'm going with Amanda Ribas. Amanda Ribas should have beaten Caitlin Chukagan. I've rewatched the fight. She should have beaten Caitlin Chukagan. And if she's beaten basically the number one contender like that, then she definitely should take out Tracy Cortez. Amanda Ribas is chinny, but the number one thing going for her in this fight is that Tracy Cortez doesn't really have power in her hands. She hasn't shown it anyway. So Amanda Ribas doesn't have to worry about power coming back her way, which is great. She did very well. Like I said, she should have beaten Caitlin Chukagan by the rules, the scoring system. And the problem with Tracy Cortez is she makes every fight close. Every fight close. And no matter who she's fighting is a close fight. Like, was it? Hold on. Tracy Cortez. I swear she always has like eyeliner on. Anyway, yeah, split decision with Justine Kish, right? You're having split decisions with Justine Kish, but I'm sorry, I value a split decision against Caitlin Chukagan way more valuable. So Amanda Ribas by 29-28 decision. I can see her getting the second and third round in the bag as she starts to take over. I really feel like she can get this done. And yeah, I think that she is the better fighter and she can get it done. Next fight on the card, Darren Elkins versus Jonathan Pierce. Darren Elkins is a plus 360 underdog, and Jonathan Pierce is a minus 450 favorite. I am going to go with Jonathan Pierce. Darren Elkins relies on being able to out-hustle and melt people. Jonathan Pierce is not the guy you can melt like that. Jonathan Pierce is going to beat the fuck out of him, in my opinion. Jonathan, the problem with Darren Elkins, his chin is gone. He's a lot slower now. The way he got finished with Cub Swanson was strange. He's over the hill now. He's old, and I just think that Jonathan Pierce is going to take advantage of it and bag himself a nice win. I can see him getting it done by third round TKO, winning the first two rounds also. But yeah, I can see him getting it done by third round TKO, finishing him up against the cage. I just don't see Darren Elkins really doing much to him. Jonathan Pierce got decent takedown defense. And he's going to do everything to just damage Darren Elkins constantly. I know he's called The Damage, but, let's be real. He's taking too much in his career now. Yeah, I got Jonathan Pierce by third round TKO. I think it's quite simplistic in that way. So, yeah. Next fight on the card. Oh, here we go. Michael Johnson versus Mark Jacasey. Michael Johnson's a plus 230 underdog. Mark Jacasey's a minus 275 favorite. I think he's way too big of a favorite. But, that's the problem. See, Michael Johnson is like a special human being, right? He's special. Not in a retarded way. He's special. I swear to God, right? One day, he could beat the shit. And I mean, he could beat the shit out of, Adesanya. And then the next day, he'll lose to Clay Guida. That's just Michael Johnson for you. See, he's losing to Nate Diaz and then knocking out Dustin Poirier. You know what I mean? It doesn't add up. Now, he beat Jamie Malarkey. He beat Jamie Malarkey. That was a robbery, right? He has the slight reach advantage, leg reach advantage, and is the same height as Mark Chikese. Here's the problem. Mark Chikese is a kickboxer also, but he's been grappling a lot and out grappling people. Michael Johnson got absolutely relentlessly taken down by Clay Guida, and I know Clay Guida is literally fighting, in the spot above him right now. But Clay Guida is a wrestler. Mark Chikese is not by default, right? Mark Chikese's been turned into wrestling because obviously he's been getting outstruck by a couple of guys, picking up a couple of losses. He wants to guarantee a win, which is fair enough. Now here's the problem. Do I go with Michael Johnson getting an upset knockout, or do I believe that Mark Chikese can get it done? I am going to go with Mark Chikese, but I wouldn't blame you if you went for Michael Johnson. I really wouldn't blame you. I'm going to go with Mark Chikese by 29-28 decision. I can see him getting it done, but do not be surprised if Michael Johnson chins him. Do not be surprised. So I'm just going to leave it at that. It's a hard fight to predict. I can't believe he's such a big favourite. Next fight on the card, Clay Guida versus Scott Holtzman. Clay Guida's a plus 130 underdog. Scott Holtzman's a minus 150 favourite. I am going to go with Scott Holtzman. Clay Guida just isn't the same. He's old, the same as like Darren Elkins. He's taking too much damage. He's old. And I just think Scott Holtzman's just going to get a decision over him and just be better than him all around. Out hustle him, get a better cardio, and just do what he needs to do to win. Yeah, that's all I can really say about it. I think that Scott Holtzman is a bit chinny, but I don't think he has to worry about Clay Guida coming back at him. I mean, he went to a decision with what's his name? Josh Emmett. And obviously like he's been in there with a lot of good people, Badil Dariush. So yeah, I can see Scott Holtzman getting this done. I think he's a very good fighter, man. He's just a bit chinny, but Clay Guida, he doesn't have to worry about the power or anything. So yeah, he's the taller man. He's got 1 inch reach deficit, but he's got a longer leg reach, and he is taller by 2 inches. And I think he's got a decent takedown defense. He's got it in the bag. 29-28, Scott Holtzman. Maybe even a late third round TKO, but I'll go with a 29-28 decision for Scott Holtzman. Next fight on the card, Angela Hill versus Emily Ducote. Angela Hill is a plus 105 underdog. Emily Ducote is a minus 125 favourite. Right. This is hard. Emily Ducote does have pop in her shots. But Angela Hill obviously has a good chin and is strawweight, so it's not going to be too much power. Right. It's one of those things where it's like, I'm going to go with Emily Ducote. I just don't rate Angela Hill. I just don't rate it. Like, she's good and she's got a lot of robberies. I'll give her that. She's been robbed a lot, right? But there's so many fights where she's been exposed by people who are able to land power shots. And the problem is, most people can't land their power shots on Angela Hill. But I think Emily Ducote can. I think she's good. I think she can do it. I genuinely do think she can do it. And I just think that not only that, I feel like she can just pop her shots and keep her at bay. And it just depends on the judges. It really does. It's a tough one to pick. But I'm going to go with Emily Ducote. I just think she's the better fighter. I really do. Angela Hill's good though. She's got good Muay Thai. But lately she's been looking a bit, what's it called, like with her head movement. She's been moving funny. She's been very hittable, and I think with somebody like Emily Ducote, who does have some pop in the shots for a strawweight, I think she can take advantage of that and just damage her enough to get a 29-28 decision. Second and third round, maybe. We'll see how this fight goes. Next fight on the card, Nico Price versus Phil Rowe. Nico Price is a minus 140 favourite. Phil Rowe's a plus 120 underdog. Right. Why the fuck would you give Nico Price this fight? I really don't understand. It should have been Nico Price versus Robbie Lawler, but no, we got Santiago Ponzinibbio versus Robbie Lawler. I'm going to go with Phil Rowe. The reason I'm going to go with Phil Rowe See, most of the people I had in my mind who I'm going to go with, but this one, not so much. And the Emily Ducote fight, but I'm going to go with Phil Rowe. And here's the thing. Nico Price looked so terrible against Alex Oliveira. He looked terrible, he looked slow, and you could tell the amount of damage he's taken. He wasn't off or injured. You could tell just the way he looked. He was very off. And the reason he was off is because he's taken so much damage at such a young age that he was, and now he's 33 years old, still taking a shit ton of damage. I see Phil Rowe just chinning him in the second round. I think Phil Rowe can chin him. I just think Nico Price, I'm not saying he's done, I just think that after this, if he loses, I think he really needs to go and get some fun fights, you know what I'm saying? And feed his 50 kids that way. I just think that Phil Rowe is going to be able to catch him, and I feel like he'd be patient, and Nico Price just looks slow, man, and maybe he'll prove me wrong. I hope he does, because I like Nico Price, but I got Phil Rowe by second round KO. Next fight on the card, Eric Anders versus Kyle Daukaus. Eric Anders is a plus 170 underdog. Kyle Daukaus is a minus 200 favourite. I am going to go with the favourite in Kyle Daukaus. I rate this loss to Dolidze, to be honest with you, because let's be real, right? Dolidze has come into his own, obviously. He's fighting just above this now. He obviously knocked out Phil Hawes, who's chinny as fuck. But still, and obviously finished Kyle Daukaus. I think Kyle Daukaus is much better than Eric Anders. And the thing is, Eric Anders, it's like the same theme in this card. Eric Anders just does not look the same as he used to. Jung Young Park clearly got the decision, but they made it a split, and the commentary was biased as fuck. But Jung Young Park clearly won that fight, and Eric Anders just looks slow. He just looks like it's too easy to land shots on him. He looks hesitant. Like, he had a very close fight with Darren Stewart, right? Like in the later end of Darren Stewart, you know, in the UFC, and Darren Stewart is now losing to regional guys. Like, and people talk about, oh, Kevin Holland had a split decision with him, but Kevin Holland clearly won that fight. Clearly. Eric Anders made it very close, and it could have gone either way. But yeah, I'm going to go with Kyle Daukaus. I think that Kyle Daukaus is very versatile. I think he's going to be very in and out and just popping him with shots, mixing in the grappling, and get a nice 30-27 decision. I just think Eric Anders isn't ready for it. And I just think that he's very, very slow. He's slowed down, like I said, and he just doesn't look the same. So I got Kyle Daukaus by 30-27, in my opinion. Next fight on the card, Jack Hermansson versus Roman Dolidze. I know I talked about how good Dolidze's look, but I am going to go with Jack Hermansson. There's no odds on here for some reason. I am going to go with Jack Hermansson. Jack Hermansson looked very good against Chris Curtis. Very good on the feet. And I just feel like Roman Dolidze isn't going to have the same effects like he did on Phil Hawes. Roman Dolidze's jiu-jitsu is nowhere near touching Jack Hermansson's. And I just think that Jack Hermansson doesn't have to worry about that. Jack Hermansson rolled over and just tapped Kelvin Gastelum easy. Dolidze's, you know, he did something to Phil Hawes' knee, but at the end of the day, he's not doing that to Jack Hermansson. And I think Jack Hermansson is chinny, and I think he will be put in danger and maybe dropped in the first round, but I see him coming back and winning himself a 29-28 decision in the second and third round by just being more active, popping him a shot, staying out of danger, being more alert, and not being too comfortable, and just being aware of the danger and mixing in the grappling, like, and being able to mix it in a way where he's able to just land certain shots and then go into and maybe even get a takedown. I know he struggles to take people down, but either way, he doesn't have to worry about the ground. So I got Jack Hermansson by 29-28, slightly outpointing Roman Dolidze. So a lot of 29-28s I'm going for you, but yeah. Next fight on the card, Tai Tuivasa versus Sergey Pavlovich. Tai Tuivasa is a plus 165 underdog. Sergey Pavlovich is a minus 195 favourite. He should be a much bigger favourite. Go for Sergey Pavlovich. I'm going to go for a second round KO. Tai Tuivasa's come back too soon. He got knocked out 3 months ago. Not even 3 months ago, 2 months ago. And now a little over 2 months ago, and now he's back against Sergey Pavlovich. It's not good. I mean, the shots that he took against Derek Lewis was insane. He was lucky not to get KO'd. Took him to the second round. Sergey Pavlovich. I know MMA math doesn't work, but Sergey Pavlovich KO'd Derek Lewis within a minute. And it's not just that as well. Like, they could say early stoppage all you want, but let's be real. Let's be real. If he had kept doing that, Derek Lewis was going out cold. But yeah, Tai Tuivasa obviously coming off a loss to Cyril Gane, got KO'd. I just think Sergey Pavlovich is going to be too fast. Maybe at the start, Tuivasa's leg kicks will be a bit much for him. But I think he'll pull him into a scrap and just Tai's chin is just too damaged and Sergey's just going to pop him straight on the chin, put him out cold. Tai Tuivasa, I think he's going to have a very bad career from this decision maybe. I hope he doesn't, and I hope it proves me wrong, but I just think Sergey Pavlovich is just going to pop him on the chin, put him down, put him out cold. 2 months, man. And at heavyweight too. It's just not a good look. See, I think Sergey Pavlovich got this to the bag. I'm not gonna lie. I just think I just think that he's gonna be too fast and pop and just land big shots and put him out. So yeah, Sergey Pavlovich by second round KO. Next fight on the card, Matheus Nicolau versus Matt Schnell. Matheus Nicolau is a minus 365 favourite. Matt Schnell is a plus 300 underdog. I am going to go with the rest. I'm picking the favourites, by the way. I'm going to go with Matheus Nicolau. I hate it. I hate the judging. He did not beat Manel Kape. Fucking robbery. Manel Kape beat Matheus Nicolau. But other than that, Matheus Nicolau has had some good performances. He's had some good wins. And to be honest with you, like, I ain't too mad at it. You know what I mean? Obviously, he beat David Dvorak and even rocked him at one point. So, Matheus Nicolau is a very good fighter, man. Very good. I fucking hate seeing that win over Manel Kape. Such a fucking robbery. Anyway, obviously, he had 3 cancelled bouts. Tagir Ulanbekov twice. Jose Torres once. He beat Tim Elliott by decision quite handedly. Beat David Dvorak by decision quite handedly. Matt Schnell, as the only reason he didn't get put away by Shuma Dwurgi was only because Shuma Dwurgi was a fucking retard and didn't go for him. So I think that Matheus Nicolau is going to be smart about it and eventually finish him in the 3rd round. I think that Matt Schnell is one of those guys where if he gets put in a certain amount of danger, he can't really get out. And I just think that Matheus Nicolau is going to take advantage of that and really, really like push the pace and able to get him out there in the 3rd. It's a good fight though, but yeah, I am going to go with the favourite in Matheus Nicolau by 3rd round TKO. Next fight on the card, Brian Barberena versus Rafael dos Anjos. Crazy odds here. Brian Barberena is a plus 420 underdog. Rafael dos Anjos is a minus 540 favourite. I am going to go with the favourite in Rafael dos Anjos, but he's a massive favourite. He should be 3-1, not 5-1. But I'm gonna go with dos Anjos. He doesn't have to worry about power coming his way, so he's going to be able to play his full game. Brian Barberena struggles against people who can either completely out-grapple him or people who can mix it up. Legs, body, head, leg, body, you know what I mean? And just mix it up that way. And Rafael dos Anjos does it very well. He's very good on the feet. I think he has the ability to also take Brian Barberena down. I don't see how Barberena wins this fight. I mean, he's making it very close with Matt Brown. He's making it very close with Robbie Lawler before the finish. I mean, he got he got dominated in the first 2 rounds against Jason Witt. That was a mess of a fight. But Brian Barberena, I can see him losing a very dominant 30-27. I trust in Rafael dos Anjos, man. I think about it this way, right? Rafael dos Anjos does very well against volume punchers, and when he doesn't have to worry about power coming his way, that's why he did better against Colby than most people would. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Rafael dos Anjos by 30-27. So yeah, book it. You know what I'm saying? Next fight on the card, Stephen Thompson versus Kevin Holland. Stephen Thompson is a plus 120 underdog. Kevin Holland's a minus 140 favourite. I am going to go with Kevin Holland by 3rd round TKO. Now, Stephen Thompson has the ability to hurt Kevin. He has the ability to outpoint him. But the reason I'm picking Kevin Holland is because he has too many options. What does Wonderboy have? Because think about it this way, Wonderboy has all the pretty striking, he has everything, but if he gets rocked, what's he going to do? He can't take Kevin Holland down. He's not Hamzat Chimaev, he's not Derek Brunson. How is he going to take him down? What's he going to do? He hasn't got the jiu-jitsu necessary. Kevin Holland's jiu-jitsu is very underrated. What's he going to do? You know what I mean? It's not a lot he can do. And I think Kevin Holland's going to expose that. I don't think Kevin Holland will straight up just strike with him. I think he will mix in the grappling. Maybe clinch with him a lot too, just to get close into dirty boxing range. And I think that he's just going to catch Stephen Thompson on the chin in the third round and put him out. I think it's going to be a bad night for Thompson, man. So yeah. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you're new, like I said, please like and subscribe. Try to keep it as real as possible. Hopefully I get them all right for you guys. So yeah. I really appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for watching. This is Keep It Real MMA. See you guys in the next video. Peace.